act of resistance. Astrology is, for me, a deeply spiritual practice. I see the planets and stars revealing their symbols to me more fully the more I am willing to learn about them and cultivate a relationship. I share that in the few sentences I get with my audience to the best of my ability in this moment. That is what I have to give today, what I have to share, which will change and evolve as all things do. People like myself who write horoscopes each have our own way of communicating what we see, and that will resonate with our own audience. Different people like different things. Some love poetic and psychological interpretations, while others want to read astrology with a more literal, interpretive communication style. Astrology, being such a direct, applied, tactile, and intimate spiritual practice with such sacred roots, there are also unique ways of understanding the symbols and stressing the importance of one aspect over another. It will depend on the astrologer and the worldview they bring to their practice, and that in turn determines their audience. The most important thing for me is not so much what astrologers do as what we represent. Astrology is the only ancient practice that is a widespread part of popular mass culture today. It has survived because on some level it affirms our connection with our immediate and larger environment. We are no longer just alienated, random creatures existing in the iron cage of postmodernism, to borrow Max Weber's term, but part of a larger rhythm and cycle that has significance and purpose. As articulated by Patrick Curry, with astrology, even when only considered entertainment, the understanding of ecology, as in the belief that the world is alive and therefore worthy of our respect, is further reinforced. That little horoscope, those two lines, those two sentences that seem mindless, read in the back of a magazine, have that deep a philosophical root that is reaffirmed in a very quiet, unassuming way. For me, that is important. I love being a part of that. I love reminding people that they are part of a larger mystery and that all lives are meaningful and even magical. Despite what those otherwise invested would like to perpetrate, everyone is loved exactly where they are right now, in this moment, going through whatever challenge or blessing that is visiting for the time. In moments that can seem so random that those deemed the most sane seem to chase the most meaningless things, astrology is a gentle reminder that there is a bigger unknown that everyone and everything is a part of, and that choosing to live in alignment with the patterns and progressions of life is one very powerful way of making one's life truly their own. Astrology speaks to the paradox of being an independent spiritual being, learning our messy human lessons, yet made up of the same stuff as the stars and the ancient gods, as are we all. A part of us that is pure, beyond the influences of culture and conditioning, a part of us that is connected to our external environment and to each other. It is this part of my identity that astrology has been imperative in affirming. It has helped me move away from the superficial aspects of identity, the aspects I have no control over, and towards an identity that is defined by me, based on values of my own choosing. Being an astrologer transcends limitations by uniting all traditions and all cultures, past, present, and future, at their very root. The practice of astrology, being an astrologer, makes me a part of them all. I have learned interpretation of sacred texts has been largely influenced by political power. However, what I have found is that I have a power of my own to decide on interpretations that resonate as true for me. Interpretation also influences identity, but a part of being a grown-up, being a self-sufficient and self-reliant person means that despite cultural and media influences that may tell me who I am and the validity of what I do, I have an identity that is my own, that I have say over, that I influence. A part of reaching maturity, or my definition of maturity for today, involved the ability to navigate my own identity beyond the interpretations and perceptions of others. This happened in part by exposing myself to new knowledge and experiences, but also by constantly checking within and trusting what was right for me. In the process, I claimed and found myself. Astrology has been an imperative part of this very personal process. For this and so much more, I love being a part of astrology. I love being an ambassador for astrology. I am passionate about what I do and also dedicated to why I do it. Thank you so much.